I had the chance to catch up with M.R. Ray, the author of Duchess, Glass Eyes Never Blink, a new video series out from Chalk Mountain Media. M.R. Ray, thanks for sitting down with me. Glass Eyes Never Blink started as a short story and evolved into a serialized video book. What was the moment, or the problem, that made you realize this story needed to be told this way instead of staying on the page?
It wasn't one big dramatic moment. I'd written the story as a manuscript for a long time, pages and pages just sitting there. But one evening I tried reading a chapter out loud to myself, just to hear how it sounded. The words felt different when spoken. The tension built slower, the quiet parts got heavier, and the little details, like the way the cat's eyes catch the light, seemed to linger longer in the air. That was when I realized this story wasn't meant to stay locked on the page. It wanted to be heard, the way you hear a story late at night when the house is still and every sound matters. So I decided to record it, add the visuals, let the narration carry it. That's how it came to life, the way it was always supposed to. Simple as that.
That's interesting because the story really leans into silence and restraint. A lot of modern horror relies on speed, jump scares, constant escalation, but Duchess is deliberately a slow burn. Was that pacing a conscious artistic decision from the start, or did it emerge naturally as you worked through Willie's perspective?
It was both, Hannah, conscious and inevitable. I knew early on that Willie's mind doesn't race, it circles. He notices everything and trusts nothing. So the story had to move the way his thoughts do, slow, deliberate, always looking back over its shoulder. If I'd forced fast escalation or cheap jumps, it would have felt dishonest to him. The real dread in psychological horror isn't the loud bang. It's the long stretch of silence where you start wondering what you're not hearing. The restraint came naturally once I stayed inside Willie's mind. The pacing just followed. Sometimes less noise lets the quiet parts scream louder.
That sense of restraint really defines the series. For the final question, now that Duchess Glass Eyes Never Blink is out in the world as a video book, what do you hope stays with the audience after the last chapter ends?
Not a scare, not a plot point, but the feeling they carry with them once the screen goes dark. I hope what lingers isn't fear exactly. It's the quiet suspicion that maybe the world is a little more watchful than we pretend it is. That the things we blame, objects, memories, other people, might just be mirrors we're too afraid to look into for very long. I want them to carry that small, nagging unease, the feeling that something ordinary in their own home might be looking back, and that it's been there all along. That's enough, I think. Thank you, Hannah.
M.R. Ray, thank you for taking the time to talk with me. Duchess. Glass Eyes Never Blink isn't just another horror project. It's a quiet, unsettling experience that asks the audience to sit with doubt, silence, and the things we try hardest not to see.